Hi everyone, welcome to yoga. We're going to start in a seated position, any comfortable seated position. You can sit in a cross-legged position, Sukhasana, or you can sit in a modified hero's pose where you sit on your knees. I'm going to cross my ankles in front and just find a way to get really tall in your spine. Connect your sitting bones to the floor or your block and feel your spine grow up really tall from the mat all the way up through the crown of your head. And let's start with just some nice, smooth breathing. So hands on the tops of the thighs. Roll your shoulders down your back. Draw your chin in just a bit so your ears are in line with your shoulders, and let the crown of the head reach for the sky while you feel really grounded with your sitting bones and your tail on the floor. Close your eyes. Start to breathe in and out through your nostrils. Let the inhale start at your tail and smoothly flow up the spine to the crown, lengthening out as you go up. And let the exhale cascade back down the spine from the crown all the way down to the tail. Inhale from the tail to the crown. Exhale from the crown to the tail. Feel the breath smoothly flowing up and down. Let the eyes close. Feel yourself getting longer and smoother with each breath. Let each inhale and exhale lengthen out a little bit longer. Feel the inhale create space between each of the vertebrae as it goes from your tail all the way up to the crown. Let the exhale soften everything on the way back down from the crown to the tail. So each breath gets a little bit longer, a little bit smoother. Softening all of the hard edges. Start to open your eyes. Take a nice deep inhale through the nose. Let the arms reach up to the sky. And exhale, float the arms back down. Inhale, reach the arms up. And exhale, float the arms down. And again, this time palms meeting at the top. As you exhale, draw the hands down to your heart. Draw the thumbs to the sternum. Let the sternum gently press into the thumbs. As the thumbs press into the sternum, feel the chest rise a little bit. Bring the left arm down to the floor. Sweep the right arm up to the sky. Inhale. And as you exhale, fold over to the left. Roll the right shoulder open. Maybe even let the gaze look up the right arm if your neck allows. Feel the right sitting bone and the right hip pressing firmly down into the floor. Feel the length and the opening in the right side body. One more inhale, really reaching out through right fingertips. And exhale, bring the right arm down. Bring that right arm to the floor. Inhale, left arm sweeps up. And exhale, floating over to the right. Pressing that left hip down. Roll the left shoulder and the left side of the rib cage open. Let the gaze float up the left arm. Really breathing some space into that left side body. One more inhale. And exhale, bring it back to center. Bring the right hand to the left knee. Bring the left hand back behind your body. Roll the shoulders away from the ears. Inhale from tail up through crown. Exhale, roll the left shoulder open. Draw the navel in. Think of rolling the left side of the rib cage open to the left. We're gently waking up the spine, so not forcing the twist here, just twisting to a place that feels really nice and open. Release that twist, slowly float back through center. Bring the right hand back behind the right hip. Bring the left hand to the right knee. Inhale and exhale, twist to the right. Release that twist, floating back around to the front, hands on the knees. Inhale, press the heart forward. Lift the heart, squeeze the shoulder blades together behind you. Think of kind of a seated cat and cow here. Exhale, round the spine back. Let the shoulder blades pull apart. Draw the navel in, round your spine. Inhale, press it forward. Exhale, round it back. And again, just moving at your own pace here. Inhaling as you lift the heart forward and exhaling as you round it back. Really connecting the movement with the breath, inhaling and exhaling. Think of letting the breath lead the movement. And round yourself up nice and tall. Switch the ankle that's in front. So if you're in kind of a crisscross applesauce position and maybe you have a dominant leg that always crosses in front, you're going to switch the leg that's in front now. If you're in a modified hero's pose or sitting on a block and your legs are not crossed, you can just stay in that same position. Keeping those hands on the knees. Inhale all the way up through the crown. And exhale all the way down to the tail. Bring the left hand down to the floor. Turn that right palm up. Inhale, reach the right arm up. And as we exhale, folding over to the left, bend the right arm and bring the right hand behind the head. Gently lay your head back into the right hand to open up the right shoulder a little bit more. You'll feel this a little bit more in that right shoulder, maybe into the right side of the rib cage. Release the right arm up to the sky. Inhale. And exhale, float it down to the right. Inhale, left arm reaches up. And as we exhale, folding over to the right, bend the left elbow, lay the hand behind the head, and just lay back into that left hand. Think of rolling the left side of the rib cage open, lifting the gaze up beyond the left elbow, pressing the left hip gently down into the earth. Feel really grounded here. And release, come back to center. Bring both hands to the left knee. Inhale, lift the heart up. And as you exhale, fold over the left knee. Maybe hands come to the knee, maybe the hands come to the floor. So you're just laying your heart kind of in line with the left thigh. Release, come up nice and tall. Bring both hands to the right knee. Inhale, up nice and tall. And exhale, fold yourself over the right thigh. Hands can stay on the right knee or on the floor on either side of the knee. Release, roll up nice and tall. Bring both hands to the knees, and we're just going to draw nice, easy circles with the spine around the pelvic bowl. And link this with your breath, inhaling and exhaling. Change direction. And come up nice and tall. We're going to come off of our seated position, so maybe sweep the legs around to the side. And we're going to come to a tabletop position. So hands and knees. Bring your hands shoulders distance apart. Think of the wrists being under the shoulders, and the knees are going to be hips distance apart. Inhale, coming into that cow position, press the heart through the upper arm bones, lift the gaze, let the tail tip up. And as you exhale, round it up into cat. Inhale, cow. And exhale, cat. Linking your breath with your movement. Really firmly pressing the whole palm into the floor as you inhale and exhale through cat and cow. Come back to a neutral spine. Bring your toes together. Bring your knees really wide apart and sit back into a wide child's pose. So keeping those knees apart, it just allows you to settle into that child's pose a little bit easier. Slowly rise back up to a tabletop position. And we're going to really firmly press all 10 fingers into the earth as well as the palm. And as you do so, start to draw little circles with the shoulders around the wrists. Really tiny circles with your torso. And then slowly increase the circumference of the circle, letting the hips draw the circle as well, letting the hips circle around to the left and to the right, nearly sitting the hips down onto the heels as you circle around. And now change direction. And the next time you circle back onto the heels, come all the way down into a child's pose. And the knees might come close together for child's pose, or it might feel better to bring the knees wider apart, like we did the first time. Find a way to find ease in your child's pose. So if the knees need to come apart for your breath to be a little bit sweeter, bring your knees apart. Slowly rise up to tabletop. Bring the knees back to hips distance. Turn your toes under, lift your hips, straightening your legs up into downward facing dog. And in your downward facing dog, just pedal it out. Bending one leg, straightening the other. Find some openness in the back body. Press into the thumb and the forefinger as you're in your downward facing dog. Think about rolling your armpits in towards one another. Let the shoulders melt down the back away from the ears. Draw your low belly in. Let your tail and your sitting bones point up to the sky behind you, lengthening out the back body. Take one more deep inhale in your downward facing dog, straightening both legs out. And on your exhale, lower the knees down, sit back into child's pose again. Take a nice deep inhale through the nose and exhale out through open mouth. Rise up to tabletop. Turn your toes under, rise back up to downward facing dog. Pedal it out again, bending one leg, straightening the other. And come to stillness where both legs are bent just a little bit. So we're gonna bend both knees the same amount. Let the heels come up away from the floor. Rise up onto the tiptoes. Let the heels come away from the floor. Straighten the legs. Let the heels stay lifted. Tip the sitting bones up to the sky. And now release the heels back behind you. Take a nice deep inhale here. And exhale. Lower back down onto the knees. Sit back into child's pose. Rise back up to tabletop. So on all fours, let the hips slide forward, lift the heart, and start to bend your elbows a little bit. Roll the shoulders down the back and lift your heart up into cobra. So the thighs are resting on the floor, the elbows are bent, the shoulders roll down the back, the chest, the heart lift. Inhale here. And as you exhale, shift it back to child's pose. Inhale, circle it forward into an easy cobra again. And exhale, child's pose. Just moving at your own pace, inhaling and exhaling from cobra to child's pose. See how slowly you can move through this sequence, slowing down the breath, linking the movement with the breath. Imagine that you're kind of moving through water in a nice, slow, smooth way. The next time you float up into cobra, take a nice deep inhale. And as you exhale, shifting back through tabletop, start to turn the toes under, lift your knees up into downward facing dog. Walk your feet up to your hands into a forward fold. Bend your knees as much as you need to bend them so that your hands can meet the floor, or you can always use a block to support the hands. Let the head hang heavy. Draw your chin gently into your throat. Let your gaze be at your kneecaps. We're working the legs towards straight, but they can stay bent if that's where you need to be. That's fine too. If your legs are perfectly straight, give them a little bend, and with everyone with a bent knee, slowly roll yourself all the way up to standing. Inhale, sweep the arms up, and exhale, forward fold. Bending the elbows, grab opposite elbow with opposite hand, and just gently float from left to right. Opening up the low back, the hips, the side of the leg, into that IT band. Come back to stillness at the center. Release the hands down to the floor. And we're going to do a little stationary walk here, bending one leg, straightening the other. Peel the sole of the foot up off of the floor, letting the heel lift, pressing the ball of the foot into the floor, and then roll it back down, straightening the leg, bending the other. And if your legs don't get to a perfectly straight place, that's okay, just working them towards straight. Come to stillness with both legs working towards straight. Give those knees another bend and roll yourself like a rag doll all the way up to standing. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Exhale, draw the hands to the heart. Inhale, sweep it up. And exhale, forward fold. Nice flat spine, and then cascade it forward. This time, we're going to finger paint a semicircle around the feet. So draw the hands around to the outside of the left foot, and then continue to change direction and draw that semicircle around to the outside of the right foot. Bending the legs as much as you need to bend them. Pressing the big toe into the floor, pulling up through the arch, feeling the inside and outside of both heels pressing into the earth as you draw that semicircle around the feet. Eventually, I want you to land on the outside of the left leg. Maybe the hands come to the left shin or the ankle, maybe to the floor outside of the left foot. Let your head hang heavy. And then slowly draw it around to the other side. Release around to the front of the feet. Give those knees a little bend again and roll yourself all the way up. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Exhale, draw those hands to the heart, pressing thumb into sternum, lifting the sternum into the thumb. Roll the shoulders down the back, draw the belly in. Inhale, sweep the arms up. And this time on our exhale, let the left arm float down, reach up through the right arm, press the right hip out to the right, roll the right shoulder open, look up the right arm. Left arm can support the body by pressing into the left leg, or you can even wrap the left arm behind the back. Release that left arm, inhale, draw it back through center. Exhale, let's float in the other direction. And we were in this shape seated before, so now we're just taking it in a standing position. Look up the left arm. Roll that left shoulder open. Unwrap the right arm. Inhale, lift. And this time, as we exhale, swan dive forward. Bring the hands to the shin bones, just below the knees, pressing those hands into the shins. Start to straighten the arms and lift the gaze out in front of your toes. Hug the shoulders down your back. Think of a nice flat back here. Take all the roundness out of your spine. Take a nice deep inhale here. Exhale, cascade it back down into a forward fold. Let's do that again. Inhale, nice long flat spine. Exhale, forward fold. And again, inhale. And exhale. This time as we inhale, lifting the heart with that flat spine, reverse swan dive all the way up to standing. Palms to touch overhead, exhale, hands to the heart. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, ragdoll. Plant your hands under your shoulders, bending the knees. Step back to a plank. Lift the chest away from the floor. Hug the shoulders down the back. Draw the belly up, tuck the tail under, press the heels back behind you. Take a nice deep inhale here. And on our exhale, lower just the knees. Inhale again. And as you exhale, bend the elbows straight back towards the ribs. Let the tail tip up a little bit as you bring your head to the floor, chest to the floor, then hips. Lift the heart up into cobra and shift it back to child's pose. Rise up from your child's pose into a tabletop. Extend your legs back behind you into a plank. And lift your hips up into downward facing dog. Take a nice deep inhale in your downward facing dog. And as you exhale, walk your feet up to your hands. Forward fold. On your next inhale, reverse swan dive all the way up to standing. Inhale, palms to touch. Exhale, hands to the heart at the top of your mat. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, nice long spine. Exhale, forward fold. Hands to the floor, step it back to plank. Lower all the way down to the floor. You can do that with the knees lifted or with them on the floor. Hug the elbows into your ribs. Heel the heart up into cobra. Take a nice deep inhale here. And exhale, downward facing dog. Hips high, knees lifted. One more inhale right here. And exhale. Begin to walk your feet up to your hands, forward fold. Inhale, reverse swan dive all the way up. Exhale, hands to the heart. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, ragdoll. Step your feet back to plank. Lower down. Inhale, lift the heart, cobra. Exhale, lift the hips, downward dog. Take a nice deep inhale here. And exhale. Look up in between your hands. And we're going to step the right foot between the hands into a runner's lunge. Lower the back knee. Uncurl the back toe. Bring both hands to the right thigh and lift yourself up. Inhale, sliding the hips forward. And exhale. Sweep the arms up overhead. Turn the palms in, let the shoulders melt down away from the ears. Draw the low belly in. Inhale. And exhale, circle the hands down. Turn the back toe under, lift the back knee, and step the right foot back, hips high, down dog. Take a nice deep inhale. And exhale. Look between the hands. We're going to step the left foot between the hands. Lower the back knee. Uncurl the back toe. Bring the hands to the top of the left thigh. Lift yourself up. Slide the hips forward. Sweep the arms up into our low lunge. Inhale here. And exhale, circle it down. Turn the back toe under, lift the back knee, step it back to down dog. Take a nice deep inhale through the nose and exhale out through open mouth. Lower the knees down to the floor. Uncurl the toes. Sit back into child's pose. Inhale here. And exhale, soften into that child's pose a little bit more. Slowly rise up to a tabletop. Extend the legs back into plank. Let the hips rise up into downward facing dog. And begin to walk your feet up to your hands into a forward fold. Give your knees a little bend and roll yourself up to a standing position at the top of your mat. Inhale, sweep your arms up. Exhale, hands to the heart. Step back with whatever leg is closest to me. So for me, looking at you, my right leg is closest to you. So we're going to step back on the mat about halfway. Keep the left foot pointing straight ahead and pivot that back foot, the right foot, at about a 45-degree angle. Reach the arms out nice and long. Shift the right hip back behind you, reaching out through the fingertips. Take a nice deep inhale, nice long spine. Reach, reach, reach out through left fingertips. And on our exhale, bring that left hand down to the left shin. For starters, let's just bring the right hand to the right hip. So we're stacking that right shoulder on top of the left shoulder. Rather than folding down to get further down the leg, we want to keep the chest nice and lifted so that top shoulder is stacked right on top of the bottom shoulder. Bring the right hand behind the back. Rest the back of the right hand on the small of the back, and then look up past that right shoulder. Then without bowing that right shoulder forward, then now I can start to slide that left hand down the left shin. If you have a yoga block, that's really great to rest that left hand on right here. And if you feel really great here and the shoulders are stacked one on top of the other, let that right arm come up to the sky, looking up to the right fingertips. Press into the ball mount of the left foot, the left big toe. And now slide slowly back up. We're going to pivot in the other direction. So now right foot is pointing straight ahead, left foot is pivoting at a 45. Reach those arms out nice and long. Let the left hip shift back as you reach out through right fingertips. Inhale. And as we exhale, bring that right hand down to the right shin. Bring the left hand behind the back of the hand meeting the small of the back. Roll the left shoulder open. And then slowly start to melt into that without folding the left side of the chest forward. Once you feel really grounded here through the big toe of the right foot, let the left arm reach up to the sky. So we're not locking that right leg out. You're staying strong through the leg. Looking up the left arm. And then slowly slide back up. Pivot both feet towards the camera. Well, I'm going to point both of my feet towards the camera. You're going to point both of your feet towards me. Keep the feet really wide and look down at your feet. Think about the feet being parallel to one another rather than pointing them out. You want to have the kneecaps pointing straight forward. Maybe the heels even come apart a little bit wider. I'm going to move my mat back a little bit so you can see. I think I'm a little bit too close to the camera here. So the heels are even maybe a little bit further than the toes, but at least parallel. And we're going to bring the arms up to the sky. Inhale. Exhale, hands to the heart. Inhale, sweep them up again. And this time as we exhale, swan dive forward, bringing the arms out to a T, and then stop when your chest is parallel to the floor. You want your torso parallel to the floor. Think of the crown of the head reaching out in front of you and the tail reaching out behind you. Pressing firmly into the whole foot. Let the hips be stacked right over the heels rather than shooting the hips back behind you. And then fold all the way down. Let the hands come to the floor. Release. Bend the elbows, grab opposite elbow with opposite hand, and just sway from left to right. Release the arms down to the floor. And we're going to walk both hands over towards the right leg. You're just pulling yourself in to any degree to the right leg, keeping those feet pointing forward. And then release and walk the hands through center and over towards the left leg. Release, come back to center. Lift your gaze up. Draw the low belly in, hug the shoulders down your back. Lift the arms back to a T. And then reverse all the way back up. Inhale, palms to touch overhead. Exhale, hands to the heart. Inhale, sweep the arms up. And this time as we exhale, bring the hands back behind you. Clasp your hands behind your tail. Roll the shoulders down your back. Work the palms towards one another and then straighten the arms. Inhale, lift the heart. And as we exhale, forward fold, let clasped hands drop overhead. Crown of the head reaching for the floor, clasped hands reaching back overhead. And then releasing clasped hands, let them just kind of float down to the floor underneath your shoulders. Turn your palms around so that the fingertips are pointing back towards the heels and the heel of the hand is reaching out towards me. Walk the hands through the legs, pulling yourself through, maybe folding a little bit deeper. Bring the palms back underneath the shoulders. Draw the low belly in, lift the gaze, reverse swan dive all the way up. Inhale, palms to touch overhead. Exhale, hands to the heart. The dog wants to do some yoga with us. Bring your feet together, coming back to a standing position. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Bring your hands to the floor, lower down onto the knees. Come to your heels. Just come to a nice seated position on the heels. Bring the left hand back behind you. Reach the right arm out towards the outside of the left thigh. Take a nice deep inhale and exhale. Nice easy twist. Release that twist. Bring the left hand to the outside of the right leg, right hand back behind you. Take a nice deep inhale and exhale. Come back around to the front. If this position is a lot on your knees or your ankles, you can come into a simple seated position. Otherwise, stay on your heels. Inhale. And as you exhale, draw the chin into your throat. Take the fingertips back behind the head and just gently encourage a little bit more openness in the back of the neck. Release the fingertips down to the tops of the thighs. Lift the head up and look over your left shoulder. Come back through center and look over the right shoulder. Coming back to center, keep your gaze forward. We're going to bring your left ear, my right ear, down to the shoulder, keeping the gaze front and center. Let the shoulders melt away from the ears. Bring that right arm away from the body at a 45-degree angle and turn the palm behind you. Press that palm behind you. You can keep the left hand where it is, or you can gently rest the left hand on the right side of the face. You're not forcing or torquing the head, you're just resting the hand there. This is kind of intense for this right side of the neck and shoulder, so if this is too much, you can bring the hands down. Release both hands to the thighs and slowly draw the head back to center. Just kind of give yourself a little bit of organic movement. Now we're going to keep the gaze front and center and drop the right ear to the right shoulder. And again, the hands can stay right where they are, or the left arm can come out at a 45. Turn the palm back and press back behind you. Bring the right hand and just rest it on the left side of the face, shoulders away from the ears. Breathing some length and some softness into the left side of the neck. Softly release the hands to the thighs and bring your head back to center. And from here, we're going to draw circles with the nose. Nice, easy neck circles. So just inhaling as you circle up. Exhale as you circle down. And then changing direction. And then coming back front and center. If you're still on your heels, you're going to sit to the side and circle your legs out in front of you. And just straighten your legs out in front of you and give your legs a little shake. Get the blood flowing back into them. And we're going to sit with the legs straight, flex your feet, and just walk the sitting bones back behind you. Activate your quadriceps. Feel the fronts of your thighs get nice and strong. And we're going to inhale, reach the arms up. And as you exhale, forward fold. Being mindful of the positioning of our spine. So trying to avoid a little bit of that rounding that we tend to do in a forward fold, and keep the heart lifting out. Scoop the low belly in as you fold over the legs. And as you hold this position, you start to soften into it. Keep the breath nice and smooth and long. Use your breath to find a little bit of softness. Slowly release that forward fold. Come up nice and tall. Bend the right knee. Draw the right knee into the chest and bring the sole of the right foot to the inside of the left thigh. Let that right knee fall open to the right. We're going to turn so that we're in line with the left leg. Bring the left hand back behind your left hip, so that really kind of encourages your torso to stay in line with the left thigh. Inhale, reach the right arm up to the sky. And as we exhale, forward fold over left leg. If the right hand meets the left foot and you're still staying in line with that left leg, then maybe the left arm can join as well. You can clasp your hands around that foot. So we're gently pressing the right thigh bone down towards the earth as we lengthen out over the left leg. Slowly release that fold, come up nice and tall. Draw the right knee into the chest. And we're going to take this right foot and cross it over the left thigh. Hugging the knee in, sitting up nice and tall. Feel both sitting bones connecting with the earth. You're going to take the left arm and hook it around the front of the right knee. Bring the right hand back behind you and just kind of twist your chest and your heart open to the right. Keep breathing all the way up through that spine. From the tail to the crown, from the crown to the tail. Stay energetic and strong in your left leg. And release the twist. We're going to straighten that leg out. Draw the left knee in. Hug that knee in, sit up nice and tall. And bring the sole of the left foot to the inside of the right thigh. Let the left leg open up to the left. Stay nice and strong in that straight leg and bring the right hand back behind the right hip. Reach the left arm up to the sky. Inhale. Exhale, forward fold over the right leg, pressing left thigh bone down to the earth. If the left hand meets the right foot, then maybe that right hand can join and clasp around that right foot. Keep the torso in alignment with the right leg. Slowly release that hold. Come up nice and tall. Take the left knee and lift it up. Cross the left foot over the right thigh. Hug the knee into the chest. Bring the left arm back behind the left hip and take the right elbow and hook it around the front of the left knee. Scoop the low belly in. Sit up nice and tall. Shoulders melt down the back. And turn your heart towards the left. Stay firm and strong in that straight right leg. Feel both sitting bones connecting with the earth. Spine is long. Release that twist, come around to the front. We're gonna uncross the legs and come to Sukhasana, simple seated pose. Bring the hands to the knees. Inhale, press the heart forward, squeeze the shoulder blades together behind you, lift the heart. Exhale, round it back. Inhale. And exhale. And again. Sitting up nice and tall. We're going to draw nice, easy circles again. Ending the way we began. And changing direction. Coming back to center. Uncross your legs and find your way down onto your back on your mat. Take a few moments to maybe layer up, cover up your legs with a blanket or maybe put some socks on. Just get to a place where you feel really comfortable and supported. Maybe a bolster under the knees. Let the legs kind of fall open to the left and to the right. Let the feet windshield wipe open to the sides. Bring your arms down to your sides and turn your palms up. So you're resting on the earth and the arms are resting out away from the torso, palms facing up to the sky. Close your eyes. Start to let the breath soften and become a little bit easier in and out through the nose. Let your jaw be soft. Feel smooth across your forehead, soft in your jaw. Think of your eyes resting easily in their sockets, lids gently closed over them. Swallow and allow the throat to be relaxed and soft. With your eyes closed, feel a sense of warmth wash over you from the crown of your head. Imagine a warm summer sun shining down on you, warming you from your crown. That warmth spreading across your face, over your shoulders, down your arms, across your chest and belly, and down the legs. Feel completely supported on the earth, warm and ready for rest in Shavasana. Namaste.